Hey everyone, this is Ray Sunn with Divine Sovereign. Welcome to my channel. Here is where we discuss about all things sublime and all things divine. I think it's the same thing. The hell? Okay, I'm trying to be a very all whatever. Okay, so here I talk a lot about all different sorts of stuff. So I had the first video where I talked about vaccination notice and how to do it, and how it trumps a vaccination exemption because they're trying to remove a lot of religious, philosophical, medical exemption, all that ish. So I'm gonna get into it in 5. Like that intro. Because yeah. I can't remember how it's supposed to be, but anyways. Okay, you guys, so we are in quarantine. Everybody's quarantined and they're trying to work on a vaccine. Okay, so I gotta give notice to all these agents and whatnot. I'm a living woman, flesh and blood. I follow natural law, divine law. That's my prime creator law. Man's law is based off of divine law, natural law. So that's who I follow. And so with this vaccination notice, we are dealing with fictitious dead entities, corporations, who are not living, but they are dictating how we should do whatever with our body. And we are not given any natural remedies. We're supposed to take all these artificial things into our body. And somehow they say it's science. So I don't know if y'all seen that video with Dr. Judy Mikovich, who just came out and, blow it all up. And yet the mainstream are trying to say, she's discredited. How is she discredited, really? So you need to use your critical thinking mind and heart and discernment, like what the divine give you to discern whether people are lying to you, whether this is truth or not, whether is this to your benefit. Okay, so I'm not the type of person who will go and line up to get tested or get shots or whatever the case is just because they say so. I'm going to ask questions, because when I was trying to get along, I mentioned it in my previous video, my daughter got hurt. She was vaccine injured. And so I'm extremely passionate about this. So recently I went onto Google because I couldn't find my video on YouTube. It's there, but when you do a search, it doesn't even pop up. I went to Google and I was trying to find this page. Vaccination notice is not what I came up with. I actually learned from this website, and Google has basically suppressed it or removed it because it's Parents Against Mandatory Vaccine. It's .com. That's where I learned how to do the vaccination notice. And recently I tried to go and look up for, just some information there. It hasn't really been updated or anything like that. It's a lady by the name of Al Whitney. I don't know if it's a pseudonym name on there, but I'm grateful for her to put that information down there. And I went and researched some more and adjusted accordingly. Just basically clean it up. a little bit more. But I really appreciate her putting that information out there for, parents like me who was just so worried. And I had to listen to my ancestor. They told me that the religious exemption, they're about to get rid of it anyways, and to actually do a vaccination notice. That's a legal notice. It's legal. I do what's lawful. Just because something is legal does not mean that it is lawful, that it's ethical, that it's moral, that you're doing something right. Slavery was legal. So think about that. So you have to stand up for your right. You got to question the official narrative, whatever they're trying to tell you, because this is your body. You are living people, and these so-called people with their corporations, they're living people who use corporations to go about hurting people. And I'm not about that. That's not okay. So yes, I'm passionate about it. It hurt my baby, and I had to use natural means to basically bring her back to normalcy. And I'm not sure if she's completely, normal. She was vaccine injured, like health-wise, like her reaction to things when she plays, she's overheated. I don't know what all the repercussion of allowing my child to get shoot up, because I just wanted to get along and I didn't want any conflict. Like, I just don't like conflict. I mean, people see me like standing up and, like willing to argue and all of that stuff. But my natural nature is that I don't like conflict. I try to avoid it as much as possible, but I have to educate myself when the people that I love get hurt. Yeah, I just don't like it. But yeah, I'm rambling a little bit. So anyways, yes, the point of it is, I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about education. I'm passionate about standing up together. Like, I am only one person. But when I went onto Google and I tried to search for vaccination notice, it's just the official narrative. It's not even like vaccination notice. The woman's website, Al Whitney's Parents Against Mandatory Vaccines.com, didn't even pop up at all. I had to put it in quotation mark in order to find her. So I had to do vaccination notice in quotation mark to find, like, to get her website to pop up. And my video would be on the second page of the Google search to find it. But I don't think anyone really talk about vaccination notice. And I think that's really interesting. And also to have my video and her website to be suppressed like that, there must be something to it. So I would like to go over it. I actually have my stuff on Google Doc. You can actually download it. Okay, if you know how to use Google Doc, there's a section where you can, I think on the right hand side or whatever, like you download, PDF, all different sorts of stuff. So I don't think you have to ask me for access to edit. You don't need to edit it. You just need to download it. So I've been getting people, asking me for permission to download the document. But you can copy and paste it or whatever, but you can download it. It's pretty easy. And I have different version of it on there for schools, for if you go to college, for work, all that. You can edit it, accordingly. But I'll go through it because this is what I use to get my daughter, because she wanted to go to public school, she wants to be around friends. And I would homeschool her because, some of the things they'd be teaching in school, they don't really teach them to critically think. There are some good teachers out there who will do that, but they only teach the official narrative. And I want my daughter to be able to think for herself and not just believe what they're teaching her, because a lot of it is false. They're not teaching you how government is operating, how it's how they're doing things. I have to find out about this when my daughter was born. And I had to find out, just from going deep down the rabbit hole. And I'm like, oh my God, it totally alienates me from friends, family. They think I'm a cuckoo bird, whatever. Just, ooh, yeah. I've always been different. Yes, I ask questions. I ask lots of questions. I don't just accept what people tell me. Because, as a scientist, I'm a metaphysician. I consider myself a scientific metaphysician. So, quantum physicists, whatever. Like we think, that there's more to this than what is being right in front of our face. So that's me. So I think that it's important that we focus on vaccination notice. People keep on saying, oh, vaccination exemptions. You're asking permission. You're not putting the liability on them. They are not getting any liability at all for injecting your child. It's a medical intervention. People don't realize this. When you get vaccinated, it's a medical intervention. You are healthy already. So why are they doing this? Probably testing on you to find out, what it does. But you don't know because they say, whatever is what's the word? I don't know. It's not causation, whatever. Like they tell you that, oh, she got this shot and she got sick. Oh, it's not, the vaccine is not the cause of it. It's not. It must be something else, really. Okay. So, anyways, I've dealt with this. Like Dr. Judy Melkovich, she's talking about, oh my God, they are messing around. They're telling you this, just testing you and just lying on people. And people can't just believe, other people saying, oh, this is just, just make believe, blah, 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 whatever. You need to go and verify it, whether it's true or not. Don't take the official narrative. Don't go on to the first page that pops up, because Google work hand in hand. They're not about the truth, really. They're about suppressing information. YouTube do that too, just suppressing information. They've taken various videos that questioned the official narrative. It's not okay. We should be able to express dissent. We are supposed to be able to question, whatever. You get to talk about your side. Well, it's our turn to speak on to express our side. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get people to think. But I want to reiterate it. I have my vaccination notice here, and I'm going to go through it point by point. So I'll show it. So it's gonna, it will be here somewhere, or somewhere here, wherever I figure out to do. I'm just a one-woman deal here. trying to educate people. I want things to be HD, people. I want it to look quality, beautiful, all these things. I do. It needs to look beautiful. But when you're strapped, you do what you can. Okay. Yes. All right. I know. Vaccination notice. It's about vaccination notice. Let me not digress. Okay. So anyways, towards the last video that I did, I had on like my computer, and I had a presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation, all that. But my camera on my computer is not that great. And this is the best I can. So I'm going to do what I can here, and then maybe try to do some edit, for you guys. I'm talking to you guys. I'm a mom, and I hope there are moms out there, dads out there. This is the information you got from me. I'm a mom. So, I had talked about it, how, to give the vaccination notice. When I did my daughter, when I register her for school, I just handed over. They asked, where is her vaccination, schedule thing, and I said, here's a vaccination notice. And it was notarized. You can, if you can't get a notary, you can get like 2 witnesses. I think I have one available on Google Doc. You can find that. But I use a notary. That's official. It's easier. They don't really question that or whatever. But it's there. So if they refuse it, you get the name of that particular agent, write the date and time, the name of the agent, write it down. If they decline, then you mail it. I usually do register mail. That's private. There's a video on Yusuf L. He does private versus public. It's a great video on what it means to be private, what it means to be public. And so with register mail, you keep things in the private. You can do certified mail. That's fine too, if you can only afford that. There's other, I won't get into details of how the mailing and all that stuff. That's another video. But you can, I usually mail register mail. It's the most expensive, slow, but it's private, it's secure, there's meaning of mailing things register mail. And you guys can go and search that out and find out why that's the case. Or if you want me to talk about it as another topic, I can. So we'll see. All right. So then you just write a quick note, send it to the superintendent of the school, of the school system that you're at, and just say, this is your agent declined, such and such, or whatever, and this is for you to keep in the record for my child. So, but I didn't have to really deal with that. So they just took it. It was fine. There was no question or anything like that. When I deal with, these agents or whatever, they're agents for the corporation. I make sure that they know that they're dealing with a living woman. So there's a particular way that you sign as a living woman too. So, and I had shown that, and I will show it, like example of it. But I just want to go through it. So the way it's titled, the vaccination notice's title is Vaccination Notice for Schools or Daycares. Notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent. So if an agent has it, That's notice to the principal. If the principal has it, it's notice to agent. So that's what it means. So then you don't have to go about trying to send to various different, agents in the department or whatever for that school system. It's notice to everybody, basically. So written on here, attention superintendent of, and I gave the example of Oakview Public Schools. That's not where my child's at. My daughter is at. No, I'm just using it as an example. So I wrote, as the living flesh and blood mother of Kalyani Doe, born on 3/17/2013, who lives with me at care of 411 Robinwood Drive, Oakwood, Nebraska. No zip. You can put zip, but put it in bracket. I'm prohibited by law, especially my Creator's divine natural law, from endangering my son or daughter. Therefore, I declare the following. So this is very important. Number one, I'm aware that those ordering and or administering vaccines have been granted immunity from liability should my son or daughter suffer from a vaccine-caused injury or illness. Since the Supreme Court decision Bruswich versus Wyatt, February 22nd, 2011, drug companies are under no legal obligation to ensure their vaccine products are either safe or effective. The same decision acknowledged Congress's original decision. That's the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act, Act 42 USC 300 AA-22, remanufacturer responsibility. Define vaccines as unavoidably safe. The Vaccine Injury Compensation Trust Fund is not an acceptable alternative to me. And then in parentheses, reason listed below, number 10. Number 2, unless I receive the vaccine manufacturer package insert, I have not been given full disclosure regarding any vaccine. CDC or public health vaccine information sheets and or website are not acceptable alternative. Reason listed below, number 4 and number 5. And let me get to that point. So when I took my daughter for her 4-month wellness checkup, the doctor I thought was about natural health, delayed vaccination, all that stuff. He was pushing me to give her the Penticell. He's like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, whatever. And I was asking for information about it. At the time, I didn't really know about the vaccination insert or anything like that. So what they gave me wasn't vaccine. It wasn't a vaccine insert. It was a leaflet from the CDC saying, oh, it's safe and effective. That's all it said. Oh my God. So there, right then and there, it's supposed to be informed consent. That's not informed consent. That is some BS crap. That is not informed. I'm just livid by it. Livid. So number 3. I am aware that vaccine schedules have been established by the CDC and are promoted by public health departments, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and other organizations. I do not accept CDC recommendations as science-based. Reason listed below, number 4 and number 6. And I showed in the previous videos, there is a lot of fraud and a lot of I'm forgetting the word, but just a lot of malfeasance going on at the CDC. So you telling me that the pharmaceutical and the CDC is not in bed with each other and somehow that's not a conflict of interest? Really? So, number 4. I do not recognize the CDC as a government health advocacy organization. It is a corporation listed on Dun and Bradstreet and headquartered in the state of Georgia. And I have it all in all caps. All caps names are dead entities. They're dead corporations. So they're not supposed to mingle with the living. Headquartered in the state of Georgia with strong ties to the pharmaceutical industry. Therefore, their recommendations are influenced by the fiscal health of their corporation. Number 5, I'm aware that physician records are reviewed by the Health and Human Services, in all cap, Nebraska Department of, that's the state I'm in, corporation headquartered in Lincoln, Nebraska, and listed on Dun and Bradstreet, and who receive monetary compensation from the CDC to perform this function. Therefore, the state public health department's recommendations and actions are influenced by the fiscal health of their corporation. Number 6, I do not recognize the American Academy of Pediatrics nor the American Academy of Family Physicians as health advocacy organizations. They are both corporations listed on Dun and Bradstreet that are headquartered in the state of Illinois and the state of Kansas, respectively, whose monetary compensation from the vaccine manufacturers contribute to the fiscal health of their corporations. I can't talk. 7, I'm aware that many physicians are paid higher reimbursement rates for administering vaccines. Number 8, I'm aware that legislatures for the corporations known as the state of Nebraska, listed on Dun and Bradstreet, vote on statutes and rules for the state of Nebraska. As the legislatures have no medical trainings and can easily be influenced by drug company lobbyists and or the CDC, I do not accept their corporate statutory vaccination mandates as science-based. 9, I'm aware of multiple scientific peer-reviewed papers that have exposed the dangers of many vaccines, as well as the herd immunity myth of 1933. And I included that in my last video, where the various doctors have talked about that they could list all these articles and also explained the herd immunity myth of 1933. Number 10, I'm aware that the Corporation Health and Human Services, United States Department of, listed on Dun and Bradstreet and headquartered in Washington, D.C., determine claims paid from the Vaccine Injury Compensation Trust Fund via secret administrative process, and also profit from vaccine patents. And Dr. Judy Mikovich brought that up. She talked about how they use taxpayers' dollars to create this stuff and then patent it to earn money from it. When, okay, if you're going to do that, then we the people should get some sort of interest, or some sort of interest. Some sort of, there's dividends from it. Number 11, I have concluded that failure to follow the CDC recommendation about vaccinations is less likely to endanger the health or life of my son or daughter, or other sons and daughters than following their recommendations. So for the reason I have listed and more, I do not consent to anyone administering any vaccine to my son or daughter unless they provide me with the vaccine package insert, allow me to determine if the health risks are acceptable, informed consent, and sign a document stating that they, in their professional and personal capacity, not me, accept the responsibility for any injury or illness the vaccine they administer might cause my living flesh and blood son or daughter, and then you put in his or her name, Kalia. And then I put on there on the document, note, this document can be used to protect those that administer vaccines, physicians, nurses, or others or are obliged to adhere to corporate statutes from any punitive statutory actions or penalties. And then on the right side, printed name of mother or father, printed autograph name of mother or father, date of autograph. And then on the side, it's where the notary would sign. So this is how you do the vaccination notice. It puts the onus on the person who demands it. So the responsibility is, I don't know if y'all realize it, like when you go and get your child inject with this thing and you don't put the liability on them, all the liability is on you. And there are cases of children who were vaccinated and they were getting symptoms and they were getting arrested because some of them were like, oh, shaken baby syndrome. You can look all of that up. Like, it's medical, what they call medical abduction, or medical, what's not abduction, but I'm blanking out on the word. I'll put when it comes to mind, I will put it on this video what it is. But yes, I think it's really important that we stand up for our right to choose. So they're trying to take away medical exemption, really, medical exemption. They're trying to take away, like, who they think they are, really. Like, my creator created me, and it's my choice. My choice. You cannot take that away from me or my child. We are living being, divine being. It is not okay for you to do this. And for those who took the Hippocratic oath to do no harm, and you follow and continue to listen to these dead entities, you're in the wrong too. So I just want to share this information with you guys, and hopefully it is informative, and I will try to continue to put more out there. I did say that I was going to put another video about not to sign the refuse to vaccinate form. Al Whitney has it on her website, but you can't find her website anymore, and I did try to find some stuff on it, and I'll do another video. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoy it, please share, please, hit the subscribe button, please hit a like button if you do like this button. I mean, not button. If you like this video, if you like the content and you want more content, please comment what you like about it, what you don't like about it. So I hope you enjoy it, and please do share word of mouth, because they don't want this information out, really, because I should be able to search for it normally, but I have to do some special quotation in order to search for my video or for anything in regard to vaccination notice. So I'm putting this out so other parents, mom and dad, can protect themselves, protect their children. If you want to send your children to school, this is how you can do it. But also to protect you, like with job and all that stuff. Same thing. This is for the United States, but if you're in another country, you can do a vaccination for another, wherever you are. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.